What's up guys, I'm BTC. With the new Batiste ultimate that doubles damage, how does that stack with other damage boosts, and is it possible to get infinite damage? One of the most common questions about the new hero and his ultimate is how it stacks with other damage boosts and what's the maximum total damage boost that you can have on any one attack. I also got to thinking how this interacts with Genji, because if you deflect an attack through the amplification matrix, it gets that extra bonus even if you weren't the one who initiated the attack. So what happens if there's a Genji on both teams and the Batiste on both teams puts up the amplification matrix? Is it possible to deflect an attack back and forth, increasing the damage over and over, effectively having an infinite amount of damage? So let's pause that right there. Do you guys think that it can go to infinite, or is it going to stop at a finite amount? Let me know in the comment section down below. We're going to be using Reinhardt's Fire Strike for this example. It has a base damage of 100. The way that the buffs and the debuffs, the Discord, work is that the buffs are applied to the base damage of the attack. So you have Mercy with 30%, Nano Boost with 50%, and Orissa's Supercharger is 50%, a total of 130%. So when you add that to the base damage, it becomes a Fire Strike that can do 230 damage. Then you add the Discord 30% on top of that, because that is applied to the character that is taking the damage, not the Reinhardt. When you increase 230 by an additional 30%, it becomes 299 damage. So where does the amplification matrix fit in? Well, as it turns out, it's after the Mercy, Ana, and Orisa buffs, but before the Discord. Now, the way this works is it doubles the base damage of the attack. So rather than doubling all of the buffs that have been applied, it only doubles the base damage of 100. So rather than going from 230 to 460, it goes from 230 to 330. Then if the enemy has the Discord debuff, 30% of the 330 is then applied, bringing the grand total up to 429 damage. In the case of healing buffs, there's a lot less going on, but the Bionade functions the same way as Zenyatta's Discord. So you take the base healing of the Biotic Launcher, which is 60, then you double that base healing up to 120 when it passes through the amplification matrix, and then it receives an additional 50% from the Bionade, bringing the total up to 180. Let's go back to that original scenario. What happens if both teams have a Genji and a Baptiste? If the Genjis are deflecting a Fire Strike back and forth again and again through their respective Baptiste amplification matrix, how much total damage can they add to that Fire Strike? Well, as it turns out, it's not infinite. In fact, it's kind of disappointing. Remember, the amplification matrix can only double the base damage. So when the Fire Strike goes and gets deflected by the first Genji, and it passes through the amplification matrix on his team, it gains an additional 100, which is double the base damage. Then when the other team's Genji deflects it and it goes through his amplification matrix, it gains another doubling of that base damage, which is another 100, bringing it up to 300 total. This is because both of those amplification ultimates is treated as a separate buff. But when that first Genji tries to deflect the Fire Strike back through it, it's already been applied, so it doesn't get anything additional. So it will keep going back and forth forever at that point, and unless there's some outside buffs that continue to get applied, like a Nano Boost, it will never go past that 300 damage. So now you know how all the different damage boosts in the game will stack. So if you want to find out the maximum possible damage of any particular attack, all you have to do is use the formula that was included in this video. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.